how to deal with the question about linear programming in HKDSE, especially for the multiple choice questions. Here's an example we are going to solve, but before that, I would like to introduce some notation first. First of all, I will let mu be the slope of the upper boundary, as well as I will let ml be the slope of the lower boundary. And lastly, I will set a capital M to represent the slope of P that we are going to find the extremum value. Okay, after that, let's start. So for step 1, we are going to consider the graph that's involved. And from the inequality, you will know that inequality 1 will have a positive slope. Okay, so we have a graph for line 1 like this. And then for inequality 2, it have a negative slope. So we draw a line like this to represent inequality 2. After that, by using the calculator program A14 from WebCal, you can find the coordinates of the intersection of these two lines very easily, which is 2, 4. And then we are going to consider inequality 3. For inequality 3, we know that its slope is negative 3, and inequality 2, the slope of it is negative 1 over 2. So it's obvious that for line about inequality 3 will involve a steeper line. Okay, but we have two choices, one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side. Okay, to determine which one is the line we want, we are going to use A14 again on inequality 2 and 3. And then we can find 6, 2 will be the points of intersection of them. And you know that 6, 2 should be on the right of 2, 4. So the graph of inequality 3 will be on the right hand side as well. So we finish the draft and then we enter step 2 to find the maximum value we want. Okay. In this case, we are going to find the maximum value. So from my notes, you know that I have a formula, mu, and then capital letter M, ml from up to down. And then the next one, we are going to consider the coefficient of the function we want, and the coefficient of y is positive here. What does it mean? It means that we are going to consider the upper boundary. So the upper boundary means the upper 2 points here. It forms the upper boundary. After that, that means it involves equation 1. So we then state the slope of the upper boundary and the slope of P. Okay, state them together and to consider and to determine if which one is greater. Okay, and obviously you know that negative 1 over 2. The slope of the upper boundary is greater than the slope of P, negative 2. Okay, so focus on the inequality sign. Now it's pointing to the right. Pointing to the right. So that means the point on the right would be the answer locate. So the point here, how do we find that? Again, using A14 on equation 1 and equation 3. And you will know that the points of intersection is 4, 8. Okay, and then just simply substitute this point into P, and you will obtain 16, will be the answer we want. Okay, for finding minimum value, okay, there's another story I will introduce in another video. Thank you.